Hello, Snowball. Are you wondering what this is? This is another library book called Merlin and the Lost King of England. Do you know who Merlin is? No. Well, good luck for you, Snowball, because we're going to learn about him right now. Let's go. Chapter 1. Long, long ago, the world's greatest wizard was in a muddle. Drat! Merlin shouted. His pet rat turned purple. Help! He cried. His rubbish bin exploded and showered him with paper. I know I had it somewhere, moaned Merlin. Gwen, his niece, skipped into the room, carrying a tea tray. She almost dropped it when she saw the mess. What's the matter, Uncle Merlin? She asked. It seems, said Merlin with great dignity, that I have lost the King of England. How did you do that? Gasped Gwen. Merlin blushed. You must stop doing this, she said, wagging her wooden spoon at him. Last week it was my cat. Ah, yes, said Merlin. His cheeks went even pinker. You turned poor Tiddles into a fish. It took me ages to find her around the castle moat, said Gwen. I have to practice, huffed Merlin. Thankfully, Tiddles was the only one to swim into my net when I called, hickety-kitty. Everybody was watching. Do you know how silly I felt? asked Gwen. No, said Merlin. Very, snapped Gwen. Merlin moved a big blue frog off the table. I'm sorry about that, my dear, he said. But I'll feel even sillier if I have to admit I've lost our future king. Gwen poured him a cup of tea. Why did you hide him in the first place? She asked. The heir to the throne has many enemies. I wanted him to be safe until we needed him, said Merlin. So I put him away somewhere. Can you not bring him back with a spell? Gwen asked. I would if I could remember his name, said Merlin. He scratched his head. Was it Arnold? Adam? Artichoke? I hope not, Gwen laughed. I know. You should set a test that only he can pass it. And make all the knights take it. Merlin clapped his hands. Excellent, he cried. I thought I had all the brains in the family, but it seems you have some too. Just a few, said Gwen. She waved her wooden spoon and cast a secret spell to tidy up his mess. Chapter 2. Arthur was in the tent preparing the armor for the joust. His foster brother, Sir Kay, came in. He didn't look happy. Artie, what have you done to my shield? It's very shiny, but it smells of flowers. I can't scare my enemies smelling of violets, said Sir Kay. Arthur jumped up and gave the shield a final polish. Stop moaning, Kay, said Arthur. I used a new mixture that I made up myself. The old stuff was useless. See, your shield was never looked so good, grunted Sir Kay. Violet. Boys, called Sir Ector, striding into the tent. I've just come from the town. Merlin has set a test for every knight in the land. The winner gets to be king. Can I try? Asked Sir Kay. Of course, said his father. And me? Asked Arthur. Look at him. Sir Ector put his hand on his foster son's shoulder. Artie, you're only a squire, said Sir Ector. You can't take a test like this until you're older, Arthur scowled. He felt like he would make a very good king if he was given the chance. He always had lots of ideas. It would be much more fun to have a kingdom in which to try them out. Not fair, he muttered. Yes, it is, said Sir Ector. Now please get my weapons ready for the joust this afternoon. Kay and I are off to take the test. Left alone in the tent, Arthur polished the armor until it shone like the sun. He couldn't wait to grow up and be a knight. He did a final check on the weapons. Oh no! Sir Ector's sword was not meant to be seen. With a terrible sinking feeling, Arthur realized that he had used it to stir his polish mixer. He had left it in the kitchen at home. Oh no, what are you going to do, Arthur? Arthur had to think quickly. He needed another sword. And soon. He stepped out of the tent and quickly made his way through the camp. It was empty because all the knights were at Merlin's test. Arthur wondered what the wizard had asked them to do. Fight the dragon? Tame a wild wolf? None of them was happening, silly Arthur. When Arthur walked into the room with the town, a big crowd was coming the other way. All the knights were very cross. It is impossible, said Sir Ector. Merlin has finally lost his marbles, exclaimed Sir Kay. What does that mean? Everyone had failed Merlin's test. Let's go and start the joust, suggested Sir Ector. Good idea, said Sir Kay. Are you coming, Artie? Arthur shook his head. I've got something I have to do first, he said. I won't be long. Chapter 3. Look, this is the challenge. Gwen was feeling sad. Uncle Merlin's clever test had failed. He had enchanted a sword and put it in the stone. Only the true King of England would be able to pull it out. Every knight in the land had tried, but no one had moved it, even a tiny bit. Merlin was sitting on the snow beside her. He was knotting and unknotting his long grey beard, a sure sign that he was upset. Are you sure you didn't turn the boy into something else? Suggested Gwen. A bird? A flower? No. I left him a boy and sent him to stay with some very nice people. I'm just not sure who they were. When I lose something, I try to think when I last saw it, said Gwen helpfully. That's no good, said Merlin. He was a baby lying in a cradle. He won't still be there. That was 10 years ago. Or was it 20? Time passes so quickly when you are so old as I am. The two of them watched the young Skylarks walk into the market square. He had his hands tucked in his pockets and he was whistling. We'd better vanish, said Gwen. We don't want anyone to see us. Merlin waved his wand and it flew up into the nearest tree in the shape of two robins. Arthur stopped whistling. He couldn't believe his luck. There he was, thinking that he was going to get told off for leaving the sword behind. And lo and behold, he had found another one. The only problem was that it seemed to be stuck in a big stone. Arthur climbed up on a box and took that handle. It came out easily, like a knife out of butter. Two robins flew out from a nearby tree, twittering excitedly. That's Merlin and, his niece. Okay. Arthur took a quick look around. No one was about to ask if it was all right to borrow the sword. With a shrug, he wrapped it in his cloak and started back for the joust. He had no time to lose. Chapter 4. Artie, where's that sword? Bellowed Sir Ector. His opponent, the nasty Sir Grum, was already switching his blade to and fro, giving Sir Ector mean looks. Arthur jogged onto the field. Here, he said, pushing the new sword into his foster father's hand. I couldn't find your old one, so I borrowed this. Sir Ector's jaw dropped open. Sir Grum fainted and was dragged from the field. The judges awarded the fight to Sir Ector. Where did you get this? Sir Ector asked, ignoring the fuss around him. It was a bit weird, really, said Arthur. Someone had left it into a stone in the center of town. I hope they don't mind taking it. You drew it out yourself? Asked Sir Hector. No one helped you? Of course not. It wasn't hard, said Arthur. Sir Hector turned to the crowd of knights. My foster son Arthur is your new king, he announced. The knights looked at the sword, then at the boy who claimed to have pulled it from the stone. They laughed. Sir Kay rushed over, ready to defend his foster brother. That was a test and he passed, he said, raising Arthur's arm in the victory salute. We don't believe he did, grumbled the knights. I'll do it again if you like, said Arthur. I'd rather like to be king, you see. Sir Hector and Sir Kay led the way back to the stone. There you are, Arthur. You show them, said Sir Hector. Arthur took the sword and pushed it into the stone. He stepped back. Anyone else want to go? He asked. Me, said Sir Grum. He forced his way through the crowd and grabbed the handle. He heaved and he heaved and he heaved. His face went pink, then red, then purple. I think you better stop, said Arthur. Sir Grum let go and said something nasty. You do it then, he growled. But I don't believe you can. He does. Arthur jumped up on the stone. He pulled the sword free as if plucking a ripe apple from the tree. He waved it over his head. The knights cheered, all except Sir Grum. We can't have a boy as king. This is madness, he said. Just then, two robbers vanished in a flash of light. Merlin and Gwen appeared beside Arthur. Where did you come from? Arthur asked. Gwen rolled her eyes. Uncle lost the spell to make us... Uncle lost the spell. To make us come back, I had to invent one, she explained. Arthur didn't understand magic, but he thought it sounded like fun. He held out his hand. I'm Arthur. Pleased to meet you, he said to Gwen. Merlin clicked his fingers. Arthur! Arthur, that was a name. I found him. Sir Hector cleared his throat. Merlin, we have a problem here. Not everyone wants a boy as their king, he said. Poppycock! Exclaimed Merlin. That's a weird one. Bright red flowers shot out of Sir Grum's helmet. Of course Arthur's gonna be king. I happen to know he'll be the best king this country ever has, shouted Merlin happily. He did a little dance on the spot. Never! Shouted Sir Grum. Gwen put her hands on her hips and glared at Sir Grum. Do you have any problem with that, sir? Sir? She asked. He's a boy, he said. And I'm a girl. But I could still turn you into a beetle if I wanted, she threatened. Sir Grum glanced at a wooden spoon tucked in Gwen's apron. It looked a bit like a wand and was shooting golden sparks. I've just remembered. I've got to see a mound about a dragon, or something very important, he spluttered. Jumping on his horse, Sir Grum made a quick exit. Anyone else not want my friend here to be king? Asked Gwen. There was silence. Arthur grinned. He was already making plans for his festal round table. It was time the country had a new order of knights to look after people. Merlin rubbed his hands together. That's settled in. Now, where did I hide that crown? Okay, guys. I hope you enjoyed this book very much. Please like and subscribe and see you next time.